Hey guys, it's Tam. I'm back. I'm still here. Where have I been? What have I been doing? And what's going to happen with my channel? I'll go over that in just a few minutes. Oh, all right, we're back. So where have I been for the past 5-6 months? Well, kind of in lockdown, kind of not in lockdown. When COVID happened here in April, things kind of went a little haywire. I'm going to need to go back a little bit. So back in November of 2019, we decided we wanted to get out of the house. There was nothing going on. It was bland. It was bleak outside. And I decided I wanted to go to Mellert Marsh. So Brian and I went up to Mellert Marsh and still nothing going on. No birds, no nothing. And we were getting ready to leave, and this woman walks up to me and she says, while you're here, you need to go check out the tropical kingbird. And I said, the tropical what? And she said, the tropical kingbird. And I told her, I said, well, I'm not a bird photographer. I'm not a birder. You know, I don't know what I'm looking for. And she says, doesn't matter. He's beautiful. You need to go see him. There's a bunch of people back there. So with nothing else going on, we decided, what the heck? So we walked through the woods and we found the group of photographers, and she was right. He was so pretty. And this little guy started an obsession. Winter here in Ohio sucked. The lake didn't freeze, the rivers didn't freeze. Come December, January, it was bleak, it was blah. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to try birding. I'm gonna try some birding because I really didn't have anything else to do. There was no macro to shoot because we didn't have this winter that I was hoping for. And so I decided I'm gonna take my gear out and I'm gonna shoot some birds. And that started it all. And for the next several months, this is what I've been doing. All right, so that's what I've been doing for the last several months. I started doing that around January, February time frame. But the kicker is my husband told me I had zero patience for birding. He said, there's no way you're going to be able to sit and wait for a bird to land or wait for one to take off or anything like that. I have no patience. And he's kind of right, but I can wait 45 minutes for the wind to stop blowing to macro a flower. But I proved him wrong after sitting and waiting 2.5 hours for an eagle to take off. But in February, I started photographing eagles. And it just went from there. Winter was still not happening. It was still cold out. We had a couple small snowfalls that melted in about 2 days of each other. And I decided that I wanted to try photographing eagles. So I went to East Lake, to Brushy Park, to the Eagle's Nest, where Kindness and Justice were at. And starting in around February, they start mating, and March they lay their eggs, and then in April they have their clutch. And it just became an obsession for me. I was there every single day. I was watching the birds, learning the birds, their behaviors. I met a great group of people who taught me a lot about the birds, the eagles, their habitats. They've been watching these birds for a while. They taught me a lot about my camera, how to shoot birds, back button focus, which I'd never used before. So it just turned into this whole obsession. So all the way through into March, that's what I did. I photographed hawks, I photographed other eagle nests, I photographed barred owls in various locations. I got into photographing big birds, and I love it. Absolutely love it. Now you're saying to yourself, but wait a minute. She's a macro landscape shooter. That's what her channel's all about. Well, yeah, that's true. But when you have nothing to shoot, you gotta find something, and I did. So a couple of months ago, the eagles had no clutch. Their eggs were destroyed. We had some intruder eagles come in and destroy the nest and the eggs, and they took off. The female that we have, Kindness, still sticks around, but the male Justice, the last day we saw him was March 23rd. She has a new suitor. So they've been doing their summer things and just flying around and everything with nothing else to do. COVID-19 hits in April, and that threw a monkey wrench into all of my plans for this channel. I had so many plans for 2020. I wanted to get out to the new parks. Things were starting to green. They were starting to get lush. The wildflowers were starting to bloom. Boy, that bird, hello. Okay, no, back to the camera. Things were starting to get all lush and beautiful, and I'm thinking, yes, macro, oh, here we go. COVID-19 hit, and everything shut down. Parks closed. All the picnic areas I wanted to go to for macro closed. Arboretums closed. Our botanical gardens closed. We were allowed to get out and do exercise in the parks, and everybody went to the parks and overloaded them, so they shut them down. I had nowhere to go. So it was back to birding. And so I started concentrating on the spring migrating birds, the warblers, the thrashers, the thrush, the wrens, you know, all of the birds that were coming to Ohio for their breeding season and going through to Canada. I started concentrating on those. And it just was, I was dying to do my macro. And my channel has always been about macro and certain landscapes, but let's face it, Ohio's not the vista for landscapes. We have this, which is Lake Erie. That's it. And really the only images you can get at Lake Erie, you can get some storm clouds, that's nice, but I really don't want to get struck by lightning. But it's sunrises or sunsets. We all know I am not a sunrise kind of girl. So I've been trying to get back into my macro again. Things are starting to open up. Things are starting to happen here where we're able to get out more and we're able to do more things. But my channel is going to go in a little bit of a different direction. Still going to do some landscapes, waterfalls, farm areas, things like that, but I'm going to concentrate more on the intimate landscape, the smaller pieces of the larger picture. Also my macro, I want to concentrate on that and introduce more of that into my channel. I have so many cool things planned that I wanted to do with my macro this year, and COVID put the kibosh on that really early. The other thing is I got a kayak. My husband and I bought kayaks in April, at the very beginning of April. We've been out 6 times on the kayak, and I want to do photography from my kayak. There's some beautiful places here in Ohio that we can go. I can do some landscape photography, some intimate landscapes. Not a whole lot of macro, but I found out the other day when we were out that that's not necessarily the case because of water lilies and dragonflies and all that stuff. So I want to actually do photography from my kayak. There's so many things that I can do, but everything is just dependent on what happens with COVID-19. If they close down Ohio again, here we go again. But I still have more plans because I have some new gear to introduce you guys to. I still have my bag review I have to do for my Shimoda Action X30. Let me tell you, that's a great bag. And I have a whole host of other things I want to do with the channel. So hopefully I'm going to start doing one video a week. I'm not sure what day yet the videos are going to come out, whether it'll be a Sunday or a Thursday. I'm still determining the time frame. There's a chance I may start a blog. I'm not exactly sure about that. I'm getting with some people to discuss that and all kinds of other stuff. That's what I've been doing. That's what's been going on with me. I'm not going anywhere. My channel certainly isn't going anywhere. It's just going to change and be more concentrated on certain things. And I hope you guys will stick around and go on this ride and this journey with me. Heck, you never know. You may see me fall out of a kayak. It hasn't happened yet, but you never know. Who knows? So thank you guys for watching. And if you have any questions or any comments, please put them below. If you haven't subscribed and you want to watch me act like an idiot in the woods and fall out of a boat and just all around be an insane individual, which that's a given, subscribe, like this video if you do, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.